Today, in part 2 of Unit 1, we are moving into something really important: ethical frameworks for AI, and one specific framework used in healthcare industry called bioethics. This is a new topic in class 10th, not done in class 9th. By the end of this video, you will know why AI needs ethics at all, ethical frameworks, the different types of ethical frameworks, bioethics, and how to apply the four principles of bioethics to a real case study. Today, we shift from building AI to cautioning it. Is the AI we build actually fair or safe? In part 1 of Unit 1, we learned the AI project cycle and the three domains of AI: statistical data, computer vision, and natural language processing. If you haven't watched that one yet, I will link it in the description and in the card above. Go watch it first. Before we talk about ethical frameworks, let's understand what a framework even is. A framework is simply a set of steps that help us solve problem in an organized way. Think of it as a step by step guide. It makes sure you don't miss any important factor while solving a problem. It gives us a common language to communicate and collaborate with others. Quick question for you. Pause this video for a second and think. Have you already used a framework during this course without realizing it? Think about it. I think answer is yes. The AI project cycle itself is a framework. It gave us 6 organized steps to build an AI project. Frameworks are everywhere once you start noticing them. First question arises: what is ethical framework? Ethical framework is a combination of two words, ethics and framework. Ethics is a set of values or morals that help us tell right from wrong. So, an ethical framework is a framework that helps us make sure our choices don't cause unintended harm. It gives us a systematic way to navigate tricky moral situations by weighing different ethical principles and perspectives. Let's understand with the help of an example. Imagine a company build an AI tool to screen job applications and shortlist the best candidate. The AI is trained on 10 years of past hiring data. But it turns out that in those 10 years, company mostly hire men for technical jobs. Not because women were less qualified, but because of old hiring habits. It's generally happens in some companies. The AI learns from this pattern and start quietly giving lower scores to resume that mentions gender as women, or things like women chess club, or comes from all women's college, even though it was never explicitly told to consider gender. What will be the result? The qualified women get filtered out, not because of anything about their skills, but because the AI absorbed a bias that was already sitting in the historical data. Now we can answer this big question: why does AI specifically need ethical framework? AI is essentially being used as a decision making and influencing tool today, in hiring, in loan approvals, in healthcare, in college admissions, and many other areas. Because of this, we need to make sure AI makes choices that are morally acceptable. Also, ethical frameworks helps us build that check-in from every beginning, before the harm ever happens, not after. There are two types of ethical frameworks for AI: sector-based frameworks and value-based frameworks. We will go into detail of these two frameworks. Sector-based frameworks are frameworks built for a specific sector or industry. The most well-known example in AI of sector-based framework is bioethics, used in healthcare, dealing with things like patient privacy, data security, and ethical AI used in medical decisions. But sector-based frameworks are not just for healthcare. They also apply to finance, education, transportation, agriculture, governance, and law enforcement. Every sector has its own unique risk, so it needs its own tailored framework. In this video, we will discuss and learn more about bioethics in detail using a case study. Value-based framework. Value-based frameworks focus on fundamental ethical principles and moral philosophies rather than a specific industry. They are connected with judging the moral worth of an action. Value-based frameworks split further into three types. Right-based, which prioritize protecting human rights and dignity above all else. For AI, this means making sure systems don't violate right or discriminate against groups. Utility based, that evaluates actions by whether they maximize overall good and minimizing harm. For AI, this means weighing benefits like efficiency against risk, like jobs, losses, or privacy issues. Virtue based, that focuses on the character and intention of the people involved. For AI, this asks, are the developers, users, and regulators acting with honesty, compassion, and integrity throughout the AI's life cycle? Together, these classifications gives us a structured way to address ethical concerns, whether specific to a sector or rooted in fundamental values. I know these are new terms for you, but I am giving the definition which you can easily write in your exam and score good marks. If you try to understand, and some things you need to learn as well to attempt on exam. Just understand first, then it will be easy to learn and memorize. Now comes to the bioethics, which is sector based framework. We will unpack its four principles and a real case study next. Bioethics is an ethical framework used in healthcare and life science. It deals with ethical issues around health, medicine, biological science, making sure AI application in healthcare meet ethical standards. There are four core principles of bioethics: respect for autonomy, non maleficence or do not harm, beneficence or maximum benefit, and last one is justice. Respect for autonomy, where people should be fully aware of how decisions are made, which is affecting them. In AI, this means users should understand how the algorithm works in the background. Non-maleficence or do not harm means avoid causing harm whenever possible. If no harm-free options exist, choose the path of least harm. Beneficence or maximum benefit. Don't just avoid harm. Actively work to maximize benefit, well-being for everyone involved. Last, justice. Distribute the benefits and burdens of any decision fairly regardless of a person's background. Let's apply these four bioethics principles to a real case study where something went wrong. A company built an AI algorithm to help hospitals identify high risk patients so doctors could allocate care resources effectively. Sounds great, right? But here is a problem. Patients from the western region of US who were rated at the same risk level as patients elsewhere actually had more severe health conditions. And think, why did this happen? There are three reasons for it. The algorithm used wrong proxy for healthcare spending as a stand-in for how sick someone was, instead of using actual medical condition data. Second, bias in spending. As in US historically, less money was spent on healthcare for patients in the western region compared to others. Third, results in false conclusion. As the algorithm concluded, these patients were less sick when really they were simply receiving less care and spending. Now let's see how the four bioethics principles could have prevented this. Using the four steps: respect for autonomy. The training data and decision logic should have been transparent, reproducible, and accessible to patients, especially if performances came up with issues. Second, do not harm. The algorithm should have been trained on data that equitably reduces harm for all groups, not just some. As it stood, it was actively steering care away from patients who needed it most. Maximum benefits. The solution needed to be held to clinical care standards, not just technically accuracy standards. Going beyond do not harm to actually improve outcomes for all patients across all regions and races and providing maximum benefit to all. Fourth, justice. Building this kind of system requires understanding the social structures like unequal historical healthcare, spending that created the bias in the first place, and actively designing against them. This case shows exactly why we can't treat ethics as an afterthought. If bioethical principles have been applied from start, right from data collection, this harmful outcome could have been avoided entirely. Before we wrap up, let's see how much you learn. If you're still feeling some queries or some questions and you think that you are not able to grasp any concept until now, go through the video once more and you will able to answer the next 6 questions which I'm going to ask in less than a minute. What is the main purpose of an ethical framework in AI? To provide a step-by-step approach that helps ensure AI-based decisions do not cause unintended harm, so choice align with moral values and benefit all stakeholders. Question second, give one real example of why ethical frameworks are needed in AI. We have already seen that a hiring algorithm trained on past company data end up being biased against women applicants because historical hiring patterns favored men. An ethical framework helps catch and prevent this kind of bias before deployment. Third question. Name the two main categories that ethical frameworks for AI are classified into. Think, it is easy. Sector-based framework and value-based framework. What is bioethics and where is it commonly applied? We have gone through it multiple times. Bioethics is a sector-based ethical framework used mainly in healthcare and life science. It ensures AI applications in medicine respect patient privacy, data security, and ethical decision making. Question number 5. List the 4 principles for bioethics. Respect for autonomy, do not harm or non-maleficence, ensure maximum benefit, beneficence, and give justice. Question number 6. In the hospital case study, why did the AI algorithm underestimate the risk level of patients from the Western region? Because the algorithm used healthcare spending as a stand-in for how sick a patient actually was rather than actual real health data, and less money was historically spent on Western region patients healthcare. So the algorithm wrongly assumed they were healthier and learned from it. Showing biased data leads to biased AI decisions. So you got them right or not? I think you got it right. That's a wrap on Unit 1 of Artificial Intelligence course for class 10th. You now know why ethical frameworks matters for AI, how they are classified, and how bioethics applies to real healthcare AI system. For the full written notes, practice questions and case-based questions from this unit, head over to my website datasciencehorizon.com. I have put the link in the description. If this video helped you and you are liking the course, kindly hit like and subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss second unit where we go into advanced concepts of modeling in AI, which is very important and a building block when you want to learn artificial intelligence to the next level. Until then, keep learning and keep implementing.